welcome to Tea Tuesday. Having my morning tea, cuddling with Cosmo. Mr. Thumbs Up is gone out to go get some mulch to add to the gardening in the front. If you haven't watched that video, I did a yard tour yesterday. Today's topic is about hearing aids. So I went and got my first pair of hearing aids ever. And I have had hearing that started when I was a teenager because I had a whole bunch of firecrackers accidentally thrown at my feet when I was a teenager. And the first indication that there was a problem with my hearing was the first office job that I had. I was assistant secretary and I was getting all the phone messages messed up for my boss, and he told me to go get my hearing tested. And I was in my 20s at the time, and he was right. I was told that I had hearing loss is kind of like working around loud machinery all the time. And I hadn't. I worked at a dry cleaners, which, was machinery and stuff, but it didn't affect my hearing, that type of machinery. And I didn't think of it at the time, but later on I realized it was probably the firecrackers. So over the years, my hearing, the TV gets louder and louder. And I'm hearing less and less, asking people to repeat themselves to the point that it's embarrassing. And I have to ask, to the point where I just don't want to say that I can't hear people. I have made out that I can hear what's being said until they have a reaction of I'm not responding to what was said. So I went 2.5 years ago and they wanted a minimum of, it was an actual audiologist office, hearing specialist, and I just paid the deductible copay, which was only $25 at the time. And the test, when they actually put on some hearing aids for me to hear the difference, and I immediately started to cry. I could not believe how much I was missing. I knew I was having a problem, but until you hear it, it's like, oh my goodness. And these people out there, I'm here to encourage you. If you have been thinking about hearing aids and you're struggling, it should never be an embarrassment. We all have ailments of different kinds. We have shortcomings of our health, whatever it be. And I mean, food allergies, same category. It's same thing but different. Do not be embarrassed if you need hearing aids. Now, getting to the prices, there are places that you can afford it. The one they wanted me to have, they were not about the customer. They were pushing the product for their quota, for their revenue, for their bonuses. It wasn't about the customer. So I left there because the bottom price walking out the door would have been 7,000 something. And I cried because I don't even think anybody, even if you're rich, that you should rob people of disability, let's call it, that's no control of their own. Hearing, your vision, your teeth, these are things that we need to live and survive and get through our lives comfortably. So 2.5 years later, I was researching again. I'm on the Nextdoor app, and it's such a great resource. All you have to do is look on your Play Store, look for the Nextdoor app. Join it, create a password. I know passwords are no fun, but it's so helpful. It's such a resource of everything near you that's going on, and you can ask people about anything. And it's really good because it's in your area. So I went on there, and the people were wonderful. They shared how you can get more affordable. Now I said more affordable, not affordable, hearing aids at Sam's Club or Costco's. I researched it. People have done many different hearing aids. They've done them by the mail for 200, 500, blah, blah, blah. I can't speak for those companies. Some people say okay. There are people that have shared stories. They were hearing aids their whole life, expensive ones, cheap ones, and they were very, very happy with the ones that they got at Costco's or Sam's, but most of them said Costco's, and I'll tell you why I chose Costco's. Sam's is closer. We've never had a membership, and you do have to get a membership to go shopping for these things. But I went with Costco's because Costco's was the only one that said that they had an actual licensed professional audiologist at their places. Sam's is said to be hit or miss. I'm just sharing what I know. So the ones that I got, they have different ones. They have some that are 500 to a few thousand, but the ones I got were the Costco brand, Kirkland's, and they were $13.99. And I have to say, I picked them up yesterday. I already know how to put them in, and taking them out is a breeze, charging them. The thing I was worried about most is the wearing the glasses, wearing the mask, wearing their hearing aids. Well, I already learned how to deal with that, because when you get up in the morning, you put your glasses on first if you wear them, and then you put your hearing aids on, and then when you go out, you put your mask on, and that's on top of everything. So when I was there at the place getting fitted and tested for how they were being programmed and everything, the I already had my mask on, and then the hearing aid went on over that. So when I was in the car, I was first driving around store to store because I didn't want to mess up the hearing aids. I wanted to be out there experiencing for the first time what it was going to be like. So I just looked in my mirror in the car, and I maneuvered it so that I could take the mask off. And then I put the mask back on over the hearing aid, and it was so much easier. So it is doable. I'm here to tell you. So please don't be embarrassed. Please check into it. See what your options are. You do have to have, for Costco's, I never heard that you couldn't use a MasterCard before. We actually had to apply for a Visa card for there. And they do have a Costco Visa. So that is one thing that we did learn the hard way. So we actually had to pay cash for the membership, which we just had enough. And then we had to go back and get the visa and go back and set up the appointment and everything, because you can't do it without the membership. Paying for the, well, you don't pay for the hearing aids until you order them, and then they're ordered, and then you get a follow-up appointment,